What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So last video you guys saw the intercooler getting put in. It's really hard to see, but it's back there. Okay. What's preventing this? Oh, that. So we got the CTS downpipe right here. Like the mid-pipe section that brings it to the cat, and I'm assuming that's what all this is, but basically the downpipe is a section of pipe that comes right off the turbo right here. So there's our turbocharger, and we're looking at the factory downpipe right there. That little rusty piece is right here on this one. So kind of takes it around and down to meet with the rest of the exhaust underneath the car. So we're going to be up and down a lot today. I already looked at the instructions. Looks like we're going to be up here, then we're going to go underneath up here. So really my first plan of attack is cleaning up that side of the garage. So we'll have to get the Mustang pulled out again as per usual. That way we have all that space and I can set up the table, the heater, and all my tools in there. So yeah, the downpipe is the last part that we need to install before we can flash the stage 2 software. So yeah, without holding this up too much, let's get right into it. Hopefully we can get stage 2 on today. That'd be great. Well guys, I think it's worth mentioning that it's like 15 degrees today. It's the coldest weekend we've had all year. But I'm gonna suck it up. I'm gonna get through it. I'm prepared. I got my base layer, my mid layer, outer layer. Got some long johns on underneath. We're pretty good. I feel like I'm ready to get this done. And we just had to push that car out by hand. So that was a good warm up. The battery's completely dead. Probably because it's been so cold. But it reminds me I gotta get a tender for this thing. So it's just chilling out here charging for now. I got the slow charge on, so it'll probably be done by the end of the day, and we'll see if it's gonna hold a charge for more than 24 hours. But either way, man, I don't know. Just sitting out here in the sun. I love the way this car looks. It's so mean. Yeah, this is looking mean sitting out here, especially on those coilovers and the chrome wheels. But those chrome wheels are gonna go. I'm gonna have to come up with a color scheme. I kind of like gunmetal gray. But also I was thinking of going with like a different wheel pattern that had like more like V spokes. I don't know what you call them, like the dual spokes, and have the inside, the spokes are like gunmetal gray with like a chrome lip. I think would be sick. Like just that lip all the way around in chrome with the gunmetal gray on the inside. Again, with that like dual 10 spoke pattern. I'm looking at Cosmos right now. I like the Cosmos wheels. So, and then I gotta figure out what type of tire I can run back here, because that is not gonna work with my supercharged setup, eventually that one on this car. So yeah, this video is about this one though. So let's got the downpipe here. I also, it's my setup, so I'm gonna put a little heater on that table pointed this way. I got my little pack out light ready to go, all charged up. Runs off M18 batteries. And then if we have time, GoPro, I'm gonna wear that in a second. If we have time, I have this catch can back here. I might throw that in this video. If not, it's gonna go like in its own video with the testing, like the driving and all that. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But for now, let me study the manual here and figure out what our first steps are. All right. So first order of business is gonna be, well, actually getting the engine cover off. Push this up. Okay. Got this thing off. I gotta get more carbon fiber red, huh? It's the only thing I have that's carbon fiber red. Maybe like a cover for this thing. I don't know what else. Maybe I can find a red filter that would match. Maybe one of these, I'm not sure. Damn, well it's not running, but that's completely empty. So when I run this after flashing stage 2, which is the goal, I'm gonna check that. Oh, this is from the, that's from the, I hope this didn't break off. It did. Is this just like glue or? Yeah, it just broke right off though. Damn, that sucks. That's how it's supposed to be. Maybe I can glue it, but alright. That's really weird, but okay. So, first order of business under here is, I think I talked about this last video. Completely forgot to do it. So this bolt belongs in the turbo inlet way back there behind some of these hoses. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna get the light under here and figure out what socket this is. So we have to put this bolt right back there. Because this whole intake, see? That seam right there should not be open. With that seam open, maybe like if I'm accelerating, the whole engine's moving like that, it's actually considered a boost leak. Right, because this is supposed to feed air. This pipe right here is supposed to feed air directly into the turbo so that I can compress it and shove it back into the intake again. But that is not going to work for us. So you can see where I tried to zip tie this and it broke, but really this bolt was the only way. So old zip tie out of there, and you can see a flange that it's got a bolt into behind it, which is also very loose. Oh yeah, see it's loose on there. Okay, first and foremost, let me grab this socket and see if this will work on that other one that's loose. So it probably got loosened up because there wasn't a bolt in here. I'm gonna try very hard not to drop this socket because it would be horrible spot to drop one. And I'm doing this with the car on the ground because I would not be able to be where I am right now with the car up in the air. Holy shit, how are you supposed to get that one though? Alright, let me just put this on a ratchet and see if I can get it. I'm totally guessing that it's this size too, by the way. And it's so cold out that even these mechanics gloves are not really warm enough. I should really have like winter gloves on, but then I would not be able to do any of this. But hey, I'm built to withstand the cold. I don't know if this is supposed to like make its own threads or what. No matter what, it just does not want to get started at all. So here's the bracket, and I'm lining it up on the other side with my fingers, like where the hole is. I can feel the bolt poking through it a little bit. It just doesn't grab threads. Oh. Well, it might be grabbing threads now. It's just so weird. Well, that's tight. Okay. Just was not the right threads. It's tight though. Now I just need to tighten the back of the bracket I was trying to start with. Alright, now what are you? Are you like a Phillips or something? No, it feels like Torx. It just might be a smaller Torx. Half of the battle is just fitting your hands down in these little gaps here. You guys with big hands, I don't know how you're gonna work on these little 4 cylinders, man. So stick to your diesels and your V8s, honestly. My hands aren't that small either, but they're just barely working for this job. Alright, it's got the car pulled in here on the ramps. What do you think? A little bit close, right? I think it's perfect. First step here, we are going to need to disconnect the O2 sensor. So that connects to the intake. Looks like push. Yeah, it's probably like this. Yep, okay. Got the O2 sensor disconnected from the intake. Now, we're gonna have to carefully unclip the O2 sensor harnesses from the firewall clips. How do these clips work? That? Yeah, okay. So let me just get the O2 out of there. Okay, O2, and this one too. If you guys like watching these DIYs and my dedication to it, let me know. You can like, although this is probably blocking your view here, which you don't like, but I'm always trying to be aware of that stuff. Yeah, you can like the video, comment, subscribe if you don't want to miss them, but I'm not going to be doing these all the time. This isn't, I want to, it'd be sick to constantly have different project cars and doing stuff on, but I don't have the money right now, these years of my life, so just gonna have to bear with me here. I'll always try and have some interesting sort of content ready to upload for you guys. So really what I'm hung up on is because in the instructions they showed me to disconnect the top one, and then the next step after that is disconnecting the O2 from here, which is the bottom one for me. So I'm just going to disconnect them both. That's what I'm doing right now. That's just weird. There we go. Okay. So these will just kind of hang out here, and then I'll have to pull this out. Okay. So there's our O2 out of the way. I'm just going to preemptively disconnect it from this one too. Back of the turbo is still warm when I pull it up here. Okay. I'm just going to like lay this one over here, the O2 sensor. Cool. Take this V-band clamp off of here. This might take a while. It is an Allen. Oh, that's, yeah, this should be loosening it. Oh, that is so rusted. I hope that'll be good to reuse. Holy shit. That's how rusted it is. Okay, that should be able to pull all the way out now. Yep, slowly but surely. So, okay, V-band clamp bolt completely taken out. I just want to see if that's gonna fall or is that gonna stay. Oh, I guess it'll stay. Okay, so we need to get this V-band clamp off. I've never taken one off before. I know I'm gonna need this big pry bar for later, so let me get that out. That's when you're putting taking the downpipe out completely. You need to actually like loosen some of the motor mounts so that you can tilt the motor one direction and be able to slip it through. Very common practice when you're doing downpipes or headers on a NA car or anything like that. Anything that replaces this pipe that's back here, we're gonna have to tilt the motor out of the way to get it in there. We actually have to take out a lot of the heat shielding too. Okay, there we go. Got that popped off. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, nice. Okay, got the V-band off. I'm gonna put this back in here. Okay, so this is gonna be one of the last things that we put back on there when we have the new downpipe in. Cool. Okay, so hopefully this is a good angle here. So you can see the bolts that we have to get by the drive shaft. Or maybe you can't, but goddamn, this is GoPro. Horrible for this section of the video. I apologize if you can't see anything, but I gotta get this little mini one pulled off here. One. Two. Gotta watch out for that dust. Jeez. Okay. It's pinned in there, but we're just gonna, oh, this is not something that I should be taking off, huh? This is metal. Okay, I guess we just have to pull these pins then to be able to get to that instead of taking these off. I didn't loosen that, right? No, okay. Yeah, let me just tighten that back up just in case. It's tight. I just need the pin puller for these, unless I can just, I don't know. Yeah, I probably need the pin puller. So I got my 12.10 millimeter here. I'm gonna attach it to my 3/8 here. I also bought the 3/8 ratchet and an extension if I would need it. And we're gonna be getting that, using the reflection here, we're gonna be getting that, oh, I can only really see it in person. There's one on top of the drive shaft here, one on this side on the right over here. I don't know if that's the right for you guys, but whatever. And then one on the bottom that we can't see yet, because we'll have to rotate this drive shaft as we go. Drive shaft's right here, this guy. Then this is the cat right here that you're seeing, and then the downpipe up to the turbo there. So we do have to disconnect the drive shaft, it looks like, so that we can move it out of the way and also like shift the engine over a little bit to be able to shimmy this pipe out. So let me see if I can get to him. It's a very uncomfortable spot. See, I'll probably have to get right in front of the camera there, so I apologize if you can't see it, but yeah, I'm gonna have to rotate this drive shaft. So I just found a really good trick for turning this drive shaft, and that is, let's get this thing turned up, dude. I'm freezing. I was fine until I went inside, and now I'm cold. Ooh. Okay. Luckily we're in the garage though, not out there in the wind. So what we have to do to turn this drive, it's gonna be impossible, because because of that. So I'm gonna have to get this car on jackstands. Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to actually spin the wheel. And the reason I wasn't able to spin the drive shaft was because the wheels are touching the ground right there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, wow, pretty much start over. That sucks. For sure, I'm gonna have to start the car. So I guess I can start it without the O2 sensor hooked up for a couple seconds there. Car pulled up on the jack stands now. You have no idea how hard it was to jack it up with this little bit of space on each side, but we got it for settings up, so we got decent room under there. So now I'm gonna try the trick of putting it in neutral, or putting it in drive, spinning the wheels to get in the drive shaft to turn. But first, since we backed it up and pulled it back forward again, I'm gonna see where those bolts are located, because what we want to do is get any of the ones that we can right now before spinning it. So all right, y'all, I finally got the 3 drive shaft bolts out. It's these guys right here. So what I actually had to do, first of all, take off the camera. That's step 1, because it kept falling off my head. So I only was able to get to one of them, and then I figured I'd have to rotate the drive shaft, and I'm sitting down there trying to spin it by hand. I realized I'm in park, so I lifted up the car. I was on the ramps before. I lifted it up on the jacks now. All 4 sides, all 4 wheels are hanging freely. Did it again, still nothing. So I went inside, turned the key to ignition, not run. Run, ignition, whatever, just don't turn it over. Slide the gear shift into, first I thought I had to be in drive according to a video that I watched. That didn't do anything. So then just some more playing around, I put it in neutral. It didn't seem to do anything, because the idea is you want to spin one of the wheels and then the drive shaft will turn. Well, one of the things I thought of was, well, what if I just spin both wheels at the same time? And that's what actually spun the drive shaft. So some of you guys, that might make sense, that might be common sense to you, but that was not common sense to me. But once I spun both of these wheels, front wheels, at the same time while I was underneath the car, then the drive shaft rotates so that you can get to all 3 bolts. So really you can only get one at a time. So what I had to do was take one out, get out of the car, come up here, put it back in neutral, spin it, or go back under the car, spin it to where it needs to be, then get out again, set it to park, set the parking brake, then go under there, take the bolt out, repeat that 3 times. So the reason you have to set the parking brake and put it in park after is because I tried, they're really tight, right? Not even my impact was able to get it. I actually had to use a extension on a ratchet, and like use both hands and a bunch of force. But anyway, all that force was twisting the drive shaft and making it harder to get to those. So I had to come out every time I repositioned it to park it so that the drive shaft wouldn't rotate. So that whole process took like an hour just to get those 3 bolts out. But now we're looking pretty good. We can do we can loosen up the engine mount, which is underneath as well. So again, I'm just going to do it off camera to make it easier. And the sun's going to go down in about 30 minutes here. So trying to get this done quickly. I'll try and update you guys as I go. But yeah, really, we're almost to the part where we take out the downpipe, and then we got to still put the new one in and do everything again. I'm gonna have to. So it is dark out. It is cold out. It is everything, and I'm still working on this. Let's see, it's 8:20. I gotta be up for work tomorrow at 5:30. So I'm trying to get this done. If worse comes to worse, I can always take the Mustang. It's also gonna be a really cold morning. I don't know how that battery is gonna do because it's charging right now. So I guess if I had to do that, I would bring jumper packs and be prepared for the worst. But let's just try and get this done, And I'm okay to be up a little bit later tonight, just if it means getting this done. But here's my 2 hang-ups so far. I didn't want to be recording the whole time, because this has been like 6 hours now or something, but I really thought there was going to be more up here. My hang-ups are down here. It's actually a lot of down here for the downpipe, but let me get a light. Oh, there's one in my head. It's like 17 degrees right now too. My fingers are freezing off. But basically, hang-up number 1 is right here. See, I got that exhaust clamp undone, but that V-band with 2 bolts on it, I got one of the bolts out, but the other one, the head was so rounded that my 15 mil was skipping over it, and the 14 mil is too small, so I grabbed this 9/16, which is a little bit smaller than a 15 mil, and that was good for a little bit, but as soon as I started to put some torque on it with the longer ratchet, it just rounded it off too. So I've been trying to just slip it out, because it is loose enough to slip the pipe out, but I think I just need to get it completely disconnected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right in front of it, to the right, of the V-band. That way Well, I guess you have to understand this too. My Borla catback is a 3-inch pipe right there, and you can see it steps down to a 2.5 right before that V-band, or after rather, because it's the back of the car. So what I realized in my downpipe, at least this mid-pipe section here that's sitting by the, can you even see that? Yeah, you can kind of see it, whatever. That's 3 inches as well, so I don't even need that step up, so I have to yank that out, and it's pretty seized in there, so that's why I'm going to leave, I don't know, about 12 inches of pipe on there for me. But yeah, I'm going to cut right there off to the right of the clamp, and that will allow me to pretty much start feeding the downpipe through. And I'm completely guessing here, it might not actually be time for that, because my main hang up that kind of just gave up on is the drive shaft. So I was able to get all the drive shaft bolts out. As you can see, there's no, if you know where to look, it's a black plate there. Bolts are missing, there's 3 of them, and I had to rotate the axle to get them. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, I also have to get those heat shields out, which I couldn't get to one of the bolts. It was pretty much impossible for me to get with the tools that I have. And also, you're supposed to just move this drive shaft over to the left in that like gap there above the orange hanger, so that you have more room to feed this through. But really, I'm just gonna try it without it, because for the life of me I could not move that drive shaft over. You're supposed to pry on the engine so the engine tilts forward. You first have to undo some mounts, which I already did, but yeah, you have to pry the engine forward, and then you're able to like slip it to the left, which is really just a pain in the butt. I could not. I tried for about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna see what I can do without that. I think if worst comes to worst, I can cut again right here, right after that mesh sleeve. I can cut right there, feed that part out through the top, and then this part out through the bottom, because I think that's what you need the extra space for, is the like wider flange that it actually attaches to the turbo, because you're supposed to pull this whole thing out from underneath. But if for some reason I can't do that, that reason being the axle, then again I will cut it right there, pull that part out the top, this one out the bottom I think will be solid. I've also tried to get these out, which I can't, so I think I'm going to resort to just pulling this plate off and trying to take them out when this whole piece is out of the car. And yeah, to get it disconnected down here, I think I'm going to do the same thing and just cut right here. Is this, I was able to get that nut off, but not the top one. It's rounded out, so yeah. And then that clamp I got loose. That's the one to the Borla catback. It's 3 inch, so really all we should be able to do is just slip the new thing right in there where that step up is, because that's 2.5 there. So again, the whole thing's gonna be 3, so we can just put it right in there where that seam is, in theory. So let's see how this goes. Holy crap, we're almost through. Let's see if I can bend this back. Well, that blade is cooked. Bada bing, bada boom. Downpipe is cut right there. So it's not exactly where I wanted it, but we should be able to pull it up from the top side now. And I'm down here. Probably, let me see if I can do this one-handed. Separate this part. Alright, y'all. I'm pretty disappointed in myself. It's 9:30, almost 10, so I'm just gonna clean up. And guess I'm taking the Mustang tomorrow. It's the last day that I can drive it. It's the insurance expires on December 3rd, and it's December 1st. It'll be December 2nd tomorrow. So I figure while I still can, I can take it. I really hope the battery's gonna be fine. I hope it charges enough on my hour drive. I'm driving an hour tomorrow. Normally I don't drive that far for work, but we're doing something special. I'm going to a different town, so that's really why I wanted to have this done. But really, I should have started yesterday, and I was working on last week's video, and that's my problem, is I don't work enough during the week. I mean, I work too much during the week. I don't work enough on the YouTube videos during the week, and then it spoils over into the weekend, and I have to work hard on Saturday to get it done, and then my car work is on Sunday, and then that's not enough sometimes, especially like today. So I think that's just a breaking point to where I'm gonna have to edit Monday through Friday and save Saturday and Sunday for my car work. And hey, if it only takes Saturday, then it only takes Saturday, right? But at least then I have the 2 days is what I'm thinking. So yeah, plan of action right now, I'm just gonna put everything on the table because I'm gonna be working on it tomorrow after work. So it's still gonna be just as cold, but I should be able to get it done. All that's left right now is the whole downpipe. And let's see, I got this little section out here. The light's not on right now, but there's a cat there, and then there's another cat on the section of, or that might be a resonator, I'm not sure. There's for sure a cat on the section of downpipe that's still in the engine, but yeah, it's like the midsection of the car. I actually cut it right here because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it out all from the bottom. So that means that this part, I'm going to have to get through the top, this part of the downpipe that comes off the turbo. So I'm trying to wiggle it, and I'm not going to touch it now because that metal is freezing cold. But I was trying to wiggle it with my gloves on, and it's just like the top part would come off, and you know what, fuck it. Alright, so the top part's off, the V-band's obviously completely off, but it's still stuck somewhere like in the middle, and I had my flashlight in there trying to figure out where it was stuck. I'm pretty sure it's the heat shielding that I never removed because some of the bolts were really hard to get to, so I'm gonna save that for tomorrow, fresh and early, right after I get off work. This is the tool that I have to get the heat shield with. Yeah, they're 8mm Allens, and I don't have Allen sockets, so I'm trying to get with this. Actually, this is a 6. This is the 8. Even better. I don't even have a long one. Not that the long one would even fit in there. My problem is, see, like right there is the downpipe, so I can't put it at that angle. I can only go 12 o'clock to like right about here, because then like right here at 90 is the drive shaft, or the axle for the passenger side wheel. So really I just have like 45 degrees of play there, and my problem is I have to turn it right, so I would be starting here and going this way, pulling it out, starting here, going this way, right? Well, the problem is it only wants to fit in right here, and again, the axle's right here, so I get no space to turn. And if I try to do it anywhere this way so I can actually turn it, it doesn't fit in that 6 point. So either I gotta go in with a Torx, I could do that, or I just figured I'd skip that heat shield part and see if I can get it out from the top. But it seems like it's gonna be even harder with the heat shields there. So the heat shields I'm talking about, by the way, are, you can kind of see the edge of it. Maybe if I zoom, see how well this zoom works. It's still focused on that AC line. There you go. Yep. So that little boy back there, and it goes like under the downpipe in like a U shape, and it's kind of like cradling it in there right now, which is what it's swiveling on, I'm convinced. Can't really see it very well, but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like it's on the heat shield. So it's completely dangling down there by the end that I cut it from. Obviously I took out the hangers, so I'm not sure what it's hung up on, but really all I'm going to do is clean up everything under the car, make sure I have everything out of the engine bay, shut the hood, lower it back down on its wheels, take the jack stands out obviously. I'm just going to roll it right out to where, that way we can shut the garage. And then yeah, it's going to be a cold morning for the Mustang. I hope it does alright. And the other thing is it's really low on gas, so I'll have to leave like 15 minutes early to go fill it up. And the problem with that means I can't like let it warm up, so I'm just going to have to drive it cold pretty much to the gas station and let it warm up there while I'm filling up. But yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna be up at like 5:30 tomorrow, honestly probably earlier, so that sucks, but I got an hour drive, gotta be there at 7, so yeah, I'm just gonna clean all this up so I can get inside and get in the shower. That's gonna feel so nice right now. It's a warm shower. I went in for dinner and I honestly didn't want to come back out because it was so, I was still cold like after dinner too, like shaking. I think my clothes are wet and stuff, so yeah, I definitely, I wouldn't mind not doing this every weekend, and that's good. I mean, we're pretty much just going to put the downpipe in. Got the catch can over here. Remember at the beginning of the video I said if we had time I would do that? Yeah, I did not think it would take this long, so it's crazy. But it'll be 100% worth it, and we'll be able to flash our Stage 2 tune on, as well as the Crackles and Bang tune, and it'll be awesome. It's what this Borla needs, I think. Just that Borla, like when we first put it on, I was like kind of, it's good, like it changes the tone of the car, it's nice, but it doesn't really make it that much louder. and that's what I'm really excited for this downpipe for. And obviously we did the intercooler, so it's gonna be great to flash that tune on to see. We should be seeing like 100 more horsepower. I think it made like IE claims like 310 horse on stage 1, and they claim like 390 or something on 93 for stage 2. And I don't think I was making the full 310 before on stage 1 either. I was probably still in the 2s. So yeah, it'll be nice for sure. And we're gonna first I'm gonna do a video with the tires that I have on it right now, and see if we can do like an all-wheel drive burnout or something. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to once I turn traction control off. So there's that, and then I want to make another video when I have new tires and they're sticky, and we can see how this car actually launches, and I can do like 0 to 60s and stuff like that. I want to get on draggy too. That's something I've been wanting to get for a little while. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this video up. Wow, it looks like that's how cold it is. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow when I get back from work and see what progress we can get done. Hopefully that means we'll be just flashing a tune on and taking it for a drive. That would be ideal. So I'll see you guys on.